when I feel like nothing, always feel like I'm running. Both feel we're living worlds apart. It's fucked now, we lost in limbo. Remembering what you said though, and I asked you if we'd make it far. That one last kiss that they write about, my one last wish you could never doubt. I trust angels who fly away from you, and you told me that we'd never die. Gave me so many reasons why we were meant to be. Then she said no, 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 no. No, 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 you should. I've earned the cost and now I've paid it. Oh, no, no, no. Oh, please don't go. I know my face a memory erasing. Been a few years since I heard your voice, yeah. Lost a few here, but it's not by choice, no. Girl, I see your face every day when I look through my phone. Can't delete all these memories, won't leave me alone. Hit my blind side, never saw it coming. You were so wild, both know I was nothing. And I'm nothing now, nothing's changed, you know I'm just the same. Miss you now, but I hope that someday you explain. That one last kiss that they write about, my one last wish you could never doubt. I trust angels who fly away from you, and you told me that we'd never die. Gave me so many reasons why we were meant to be.
Well, hello everyone. Thank you so much for joining me. I appreciate it. Today is October 10th, 2023, 7:36 p.m. on the East Coast. Hello, hello, hello all in chat. Thank you all for being here. I do appreciate your time. You could have chosen to be anywhere, but you chose to be right here, and I'm thankful. So, yeah, a lot of you was just over at Smiley's just a little bit ago. I I kind of want to continue a little bit about what we were talking about. Now, I want to go over a couple interviews from our friend Chris from the interview room, and I just noticed something, and I'm going to ask you guys in chat. What Why did they end up going swimming? What was the reason they went swimming? I want to hear what you guys have to say in chat. And then we'll go from there. Yep, put it in chat. Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. I think that they were the swimming hole so that Candace and H could divvy up their goods and be together. Waiting on script. It was a short time to wait for our prescription. Yeah. Okay. All right. So this is my question. So they were allegedly waiting on their prescription. Said it was going to take about, 30 minutes. And so they thought they would just go to the lake and swim a few moments. But my question is, when Candace was at Allie's house they had already, according to them, decided to go swimming or fishing. So, was that pre-planned? You get what I'm saying? You get what I mean? Because they said, "Oh, well, it's going to be 30 minutes. We might as well go swimming." Well, you wasn't planning on going swimming that day or fishing, right? But you're not making any sense because we've heard Summer had a bathing suit on under her outfit. Then we heard she changed at Allie's. And then we heard there is always a bathing suit in the car. So if you went to get Hunter and you were planning on going fishing and or swimming, you didn't go there just to wait for the prescription, which in my mind lets me, it feels like it's more, if that is true, that at least you pre-planned going somewhere with H, whether you were waiting on a prescription or not. Hi, yes, pre-planned, and I don't understand Grandis needing her meds so bad and a new burner phone. Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. That is right. Mm-hmm. But see, the driving to the swimming hole would have taken like 10 minutes, give or take. So that's 20 minutes of swimming. That doesn't make sense at all. It doesn't make sense. It doesn't make sense at all. I mean, who you like it when I take my kids to the pool, and I take them a lot during the summer, a lot, at least once a week minimum. Okay, it takes me 30 minutes to get them out of the pool, right? I can't get I mean, who can get your kid in the water and out of the water and playing in 30, 20 minutes? And I manage a Walgreens drive-through. Takes probably 30 minutes, but probably like 20 minutes because we were timed actually like yes, McDonald's. Yes, Walgreens is also timed to drive through. Yes. Vapes and twisted tea cost money. Where did it come from? I wonder if they made an exchange, perhaps. I don't know, but what I do know is that somebody's not telling the truth. And when you're not telling the truth, you're hiding something. It's really that simple. You were either planning on going out that day, planning to meet H, planning on going swimming and or fishing. We've heard both. Or you were just going to the pharmacy and H went with you. And what I'm about to show you, Candace says that we wasn't planning on being out that long, but you made it literally an all-day event. So what we're going to do, we're going to go over our friend Chris McDonough from the interview room, and then we're going to go over some timelines. Okay? And we're going to see what old Can says. BS comes out of her mouth, in my opinion, allegedly. All right, here we go.
All the sickness and stuff that's been going around,
Yeah.
different kids and stuff like that.
Yeah.
So this was more secluded.
Let me know if y'all could hear that. Could y'all hear that? There's that hat. Yep. Had money for vapes and all that, but didn't feed Summer. Okay, you could hear it. Perfect. Thank you.
Private kind of thing, I guess.
Okay. Yeah, it makes sense. That makes
I'm
sense.
more of a quiet kind of person. I don't like to be in a big crowd.
Yeah.
I tend to stick to myself and my family, and that's it.
And when you guys got here, who was with you? There's a lot of rumors
my
about.
mother was with me.
Yep.
And my daughter,
Yep.
Summer, and Hunter was with us.
Okay. Now, tell me about the dynamic.
Notice how just her body language. Okay, sorry. StreamYard, terrible right now. Make sure. I got an email from him earlier. They was having some. All right. I hope this does not happen. All right. She didn't say her mom. She did say her mom. She did say her mom in this interview. However, notice her body language. When she is saying this, who was with her, she's not looking at Chris. She's looking away. It feels like it doesn't feel like the attention and the seriousness is there. It just looks like she's just, casually talking, in my opinion.
Dynamics of what everybody was doing. Who was doing what when you first got here? What happened?
I got out of the car first, and then I opened the back door because my mom's got a double door on her truck.
Right.
So I opened the back door and I let her and Hunter out.
Okay.
And Summer's first thing is to run to the water, of course.
Right.
And I was like, Summer, just wait. Let me get my stuff, and I'll walk over there with you. And she waited for me, and I don't know. Hunter went off into the woods somewhere. I don't know where it was.
Now, where was
Now, why did Hunter go off into the woods? Was he drinking his alcoholic beverage that an adult bought him? This woman right here. Vaping. What was it? I'm going to tell you something. You know how they took a picnic set from the Wells house? They took a picnic set. I've showed you guys the receipt to that, right? In my opinion, now that I've just thought about this, how either they was waiting on the prescription and just decided to go swimming, but yet they say while they're at Hunter's house, oh, let's go swimming or let's go fishing. Because that is what H told Allie. That's what Candace says. That's what H says. I wonder if this was pre-planned. And that they took that picnic set with them. Just a thought. Is that why a picnic set is on there? That is something you would take to a lake, an outdoor gathering. That is what a picnic is. It's an outdoor, you take snacks or whatever. I also wonder if the people at the horse stable, they say one of the vehicles of the Wells was there nearly all day.
Summer sitting.
She was sitting in the middle seat.
Okay.
Hunter was sitting on the end.
Okay.
And my mom said, hold on a minute. So we waited for my mom to get out.
Okay.
And Hunter, he just done disappeared into the woods. I don't know where he went.
Okay. Okay.
And me and my mom and Summer walked over there. And we were just letting Summer play. And then Hunter eventually come back out of the woods wherever he was.
Okay.
And sitting in the middle seat.
Okay.
Hunter was sitting on the end.
Okay.
And my mom said, hold on a minute. So we waited for my mom to get out.
Okay.
And Hunter, he just done disappeared into the woods. I don't know where he went.
Okay. Okay.
And me and my mom and Summer walked over there. And we were just letting Summer play. And then Hunter eventually come back out of the woods wherever he was.
Okay.
And
So let's walk over there. Show me.
She says H eventually walked out of the woods. Well, according to you, Candace, you were only there, 20, 30 minutes eventually. Hey, Betty.
And I'll just follow you, okay?
No.
So I'll follow you on which direction. And
everything's slow motion now.
I know. So which direction does Hunter go?
He went that way.
He went that way. Now, was he in a bathing suit?
No, I think he just had his shorts and his shirt on.
Okay. And Summer, was she in her bathing suit?
Yes.
And how did she get in her bathing suit? Or...
I actually put her bathing suit on before we left home because it was really hot out that day.
Okay.
All right, now let's make this make sense in Candace land, can land. She just said she put her bathing suit on before they left out that day. You had no idea that you were going swimming though, Candace, right? Because you were just killing time, waiting for a prescription. So in my mind, this sounds pre-planned. You're putting a bathing suit on a child at 7:30 in the morning, and you said it was really hot out that day, but yet you say summer freezes, and you put a long sleeve jacket, coat, shirt, something on her because you said she was cold. That she stays cold. She doesn't like air conditioning. Your words. You don't like air conditioning. Your words. Something is not right. Something is not right. Let's continue listening. She says that bathing suit went on her that morning. So, Candace, let me get my time frame here. They had to be there by 8:30 in the morning. They arrived there by 8 or 8:30 in the morning. She says they wake up about 7:30. She has to get Grandis in the car, has to get Summer in the car, get them dressed, all that. And you're putting a bathing suit on a child because it's hot that day. And she has clothes on over top that. Well, then you was planning this, Candace. Now, my question is, why were you planning this without your boys? Why are you planning this with a 5-year-old little girl and a teenage boy? So she's just at the house. Did she tell the boys? Good question. She said she was taking Grandis to the ER. She was concerned about her leg, her knee. No offense, but Candace doesn't seem like the type to be overly concerned about her mother's knee. My opinion. You may have a different opinion. But I don't see it. And if she's got her bathing suit on at 7:30 in the morning, clothes over top of it, and by the evening she's got long sleeve shirts on and she goes missing a couple hours later.
So it was just something small and then not so hot.
Okay. Okay.
Because I know how she gets too hot.
Okay.
Oh, let's listen to this. Here we go, y'all. Because I know how she gets really hot. You know, summer's always hot, but yet she's always cold too. Right? I think you just say that to whatever serves you. That's what I think. Because here in a little bit, you're going to say she's always cold. Don't you, Can? Why was she cold later? In the Tennessee heat in June? Mm-mm. Don't think so.
And what was the temperature that day? Give me an idea.
Are we in the 80s?
Okay. So it's Tennessee warm.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's like it is now.
And are you an air conditioning person, or in your mom's truck was the AC on or
I
off?
don't like AC.
Okay. Okay. So what happened? Where do you guys go, and where's Summer going here?
We all walked down this path, me, my mom, and Summer.
All right. So all three of you together.
Yeah.
Now, how does Mom's knee handle this hill here?
Well, she uses her cane, so it's a little bit easier, and she'll hold on to my shoulder so
Okay.
she doesn't fall or nothing.
So you're kind of escorting her down here.
Yeah.
And is Summer ahead of you or behind
She's
you?
right here in front of me.
Okay. So walk me through that.
Oh, we're just walking down through here. I mean, usually, like I said, we go slow because of my mom's knee.
Okay.
Myself.
Okay.
I was just standing here at the end, and then, well, the water's up a lot further than it usually is. Usually it's down. You can usually see all that wood sticking up out of the water. And she was just playing right here.
And what time do you get here about, if you remember?
I couldn't even tell you, to be honest with you. Time is... I don't keep track of time.
No, I understand.
I mean, I get up in the morning, I do my thing with the kids, and then...
She doesn't keep track of time, except she does keep track of time. She knows what time she needs to be at the pharmacy or the hospital. She knows that it's going to be 20 or 30 minutes on the prescription. But, anything that concerns her missing daughter for the last 2+ years, time just tries, it just erases her. That's all it does, is erase her mind. When, people say they can remember, okay, even if you couldn't remember in the beginning, I would think real effing hard to help investigators fix a timeline. But it seems, in my opinion, she doesn't want to give one. It seems like the Wells just go absolutely stupid after 3 o'clock.
We go to bed.
Okay.
I couldn't even tell you. I know I went.
Hello, my beloved Brandy Neal in here. She was talking to Don the other day on a panel. Don doesn't even know his, daughter's birthday. Candace has to literally stamp it on her body to remember. Brandy was telling Don how many days Summer was missing. And obviously, Summer is not even her child, but she stays, keeps track of this case. And she certainly is rock solid with her son's case, shoulder to shoulder with law enforcement. How can I help? What can I do? Working full time, both parents still have their kids. And she knows how many days Michael's been missing, how many days Summer has been missing. Still does it all. She is the epitome of strength.
To the hospital at 8 with my mom, dropped her off, and I was sitting there, and Hunter called me and asked me what I was doing. I said I was sitting at the hospital in the parking lot waiting on my mom to get done. And he said, well, why don't y'all come over? I said, well, as long as your mom says it's okay.
All right, so here we have it. She says H calls Candace. Hey, what you doing? Nothing much. Just sitting here in the parking lot with Summer, killing time. You want to come over? Sure. And it just so happens, according to Candace, Summer has her bathing suit on. But they're just killing time in the parking lot, right?
And I guess he woke her up or said something to her, and he said, yeah, she said it's fine for a little bit. Because I guess his grandma was coming over or something. She don't like her. I don't like her either. So.
Okay.
That's true.
Yeah, well, yeah. I mean, seems like you guys have had a falling out. There's no question about that.
Yeah.
And,
it was stupid part on out, really, honestly.
what was it over?
Well, I don't know if it was her husband or Hunter's, I'm just going to say Hunter's daddy. Come out with all these guys and stuff, and we're supposed to move down here. And they couldn't find a place to stay or whatever. Well, I don't really remember what this guy's name was. I know he's a Mexican, I think. And
that Jose guy?
Yeah.
Is that right?
Yeah, she wanted him to stay. And she was also staying at my house.
Okay.
So I said, well, if you're going to be with him, that's fine. You know what I'm saying? That's fine. That's y'all's deal. And I don't know, they did whatever they did because I didn't really pay attention to them. I just hung out with the kids and my mom. And then one day he just goes, I like chicks with dicks. Mm-hmm. After him and her did whatever.
That's another lie Candace is saying. Jose never said that. They told Don that so he wouldn't feel as threatened. Now, it's interesting how, if Candace didn't care romantically, in my opinion, in some way about Jose, then it wouldn't have ended Candace's and Allie's friendship. There was some type of rivalry there, in my opinion. Does anyone know? I can't find it right now. Does I see you. Can you find Candace's TikTok? I want to show something on that. If you can find it, Candace's TikTok channel. If you can send it to me. If you can, it's no big deal. Or if anyone can email it to me. I'm gonna put my email here in chat if anyone has that. Okay.
And she got all pissed off and just said, "Hold on, take me and my kids back to my place. I'm out of here." So I don't even know what really happened.
Okay.
She just went off the handle. And
It's people annoy me when they say that. I don't really know what happened to our relationship. My literally my best friend. Like, you don't know what happened. Of course you know what happened. You know what happened.
ever since that, I don't know, she's just been hateful towards me. And I don't know, I don't get it. I really wish I could understand it.
Okay.
And she stuck me with that guy. And then my husband got home. He's like, "Well, who's this guy, you know?" And I'm like, "Allie left him here, abandoned him here." I was like, "He ain't got no place to go." You know what I'm saying?
Right.
And then my mom took him after my husband and him got into a little squirrel. My mom took him, I believe it was to North Carolina to some chick's house. And then that was the end of him. I never heard from him again.
And that, so your mom drove him up there?
Yeah, my mom did.
Okay.
And I never heard from the guy again.
What part of North Carolina do you know?
I don't even know.
Okay. What kind of vehicle did he have, if any?
He didn't have no vehicle.
Okay. But your mom took him
My
up?
mom took him in her truck.
Got it. Straight up. Okay. Then, so you're down here, and all of a sudden now, Summer is doing what?
Summer's just playing in the water right here.
Okay.
I'm just standing right here. All the flowers that died that were there on that.
Oh, so there were a bunch of flowers
There was
here?
a bunch of flowers right here, yeah, on this little petal. I don't know what, I guess they've all died now, but.
Okay. And where's Grandma?
Mom's standing right here.
Okay.
And I'm over here close to the edge just because Summer's in the water. You
Sure.
know what I'm saying? That's
Sure.
my thing.
Okay.
And she's just playing, you know, like a normal kid would play in the water. And then Hunter came from wherever he was and come down here and was standing here. I don't want to get all wet, but
Yeah.
he was like standing here and someone.
Okay, we're going to get to that in just a second. I want to show y'all this. This is Candace's TikTok, right? She's got H.
She got no curve, and she danced like a worm. Is your girl's booty flat? Is your girl's booty flat? Does she twerk with her back? Does she talk a lot of smack? Does she look like a rat? Does she got no curve? Does she dance like a worm? Is your girl's booty flat? Is your girl's booty?
He's a teenager. He's a teenager. Singing "Is Your Girl's Booty Flat," right? He's a typical teenager. It's nothing. He is a victim, in my opinion, by far a victim, right? But I think she has. Okay, that's not it. She's got in here. It might be on a different account. She's got a couple different accounts, but in these, she's laying in bed with Hunter on a couple. Who filmed that? It's got to be Candace. It's Candace's TikTok, right? Why? She's got on a TikTok and photos of her like laying in bed and H back here. And Andrew, I hope that you are able to proceed and talk to law enforcement about this. I know that you've contacted them, and H is about ready to be 18. He's a victim, in my opinion, regardless of whatever happened. It's odd, at the very least, for a married woman with 4 kids at home, 7 children altogether, to have literally a teenager with you, and it's weird enough that you're buying alcohol and cigarettes and vapes and every other thing. But why are you taking them on some excursion? And it couldn't have been for just 20 or 30 minutes. I don't believe it. I don't believe it now. You're not telling us the full story. You're not telling us the full story. Because Summer, according to you, had a bathing suit on at 7:30 in the morning. You was planning something. I don't know if the picnic that was on the inventory list that they took, I don't know if that was for that day, but it's a reasonable to wonder, why did they take a picnic kit and you just happen to be, at the pond? All right, let's continue.
Okay. And where's Grandma?
Mom's standing right here,
Okay.
and I'm over here close to the edge just because Summer's in the water.
Sure,
You know what I'm saying? That's
sure.
my thing.
Okay.
And she's just playing, like a normal kid would play in the water. And then
Now she just said, I'm like right here, like literally at the edge of the water, because Summer's playing there. You know what I mean? This helicopter mom, Candace, is not. She didn't have a life jacket on. I mean, I'm going to tell you something, particularly a reasonable parent. And I've seen, to give credit, I have seen Summer having life jackets on before. She didn't that day, June 15th. But particularly if a 5-year-old child, is in the water alone, because she's practically there alone. I mean, H was out of the water when we saw that video. And she doesn't have a life jacket. And I doubt it you were watching her as close as you are saying. My last live, we learned that a child can drown terminally in 20 seconds. 20 seconds. And the way H was talking, it sounded like y'all were, playing on the phone, looking at TikTok, talking, all of that. No floats on the arm, no life preserver whatsoever. Now, in the video here, the lake is much higher than it normally is. I don't know. I can't remember if it was high on June 15th or not, but here it's particularly high. Getting their drinks on. Takes one gulp of water. Yes. And for a dry drowning, it doesn't even, take even a gulp.
Hunter came from wherever he was and come down here and was standing here. I don't want to get all wet, but
yeah,
he was like standing here, and someone was out a little bit further. They were pretty far apart from like me and your wife is.
Okay. Is that the TikTok video you took?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, so you can see how far they were apart.
Yeah, I can see it, right.
And with him sitting there saying that she fell on a rock, there's no rock. Where do you see a rock?
Right. Yeah, the only rocks I saw were right over here.
Yeah,
and
they're
then
not
up
even,
there.
Yeah, they're way over there, and I'm right here.
Okay. Now, in the video, she said, I don't know if you can see my mouse, but she said the rocks are way over here. And she's like, right. She said the rocks are way over here. H said, she might have slipped on a rock or something. We'll view it shortly. But we can see, thank you, Candy. I appreciate you, CW. Yeah. It's the way it feels, doesn't it, Candy? It sure feels that way. But you can see Summer in that video going out farther than I would be comfortable, much farther than I would be comfortable with, particularly with no life preservers, no nobody else in the water. And H says there was an incident that happened, according to H, that's scared him enough that he ran in the water and got Summer. Now, she's 5. He said she was underwater 15 to 20 seconds, could have been longer, maybe not. I don't see a 5-year-old holding their breath underwater for 20 seconds. That's a long time for a 5-year-old. It's a long time for an adult. There was something that happened that it scared him enough that he ran in the water to check on her, a teenager who's drinking. Remember that. A teenager who is literally drinking. Why doesn't Candace talk about this? She says flat outly that it did not happen. Interesting. Maybe because she is the adult in charge of the 2 children, a 5-year-old and a teenager, there. Maybe that's the reason she doesn't say it. I don't know. I would say ask her, but she won't tell you the truth.
Okay. So this is where she is, though.
Yeah, this is where she is right here.
Okay. And how is she? What's her behavior?
She's jumping around, splashing, having a good time,
Summer.
just like Summer would always do.
And that is correct, Robin. He says it twice. The incident that happened. According, H says there was an incident. She went underwater. It scared him. He got spooked. He said Summer came up fine. Walked to the car fine. But then he said, but kids get really tired very easy after playing in the water, especially if she hasn't eaten for hours upon hours. There's that as well. So Don says there's an incident twice. H says he doesn't say the word incident, but he said Summer went underwater and it spooked him. So that would be an incident, in my opinion, at least.
Okay.
I mean, that's how all my kids are.
Okay.
They just splash around and have a good time.
Does she go underwater at any time that you see?
Oh, she just dips her head in, but sticks it right back up. I mean, it was only up to here.
So,
okay. So Candace says she dips her head in, but just sticks it right back up. Well, H said she was underwater for 10, 15 seconds. We'll hear that shortly. And like I said, 15 or 20 seconds is a long time. It takes only 20 seconds for a child to drown. I'm not saying that's what happened to Summer, but I am saying there's a hell of a lot of inconsistencies right here.
Where did this idea of under the water, where's that come from? Okay.
That just blew my mind when I heard that. I was like, she didn't even go into, because when she was playing in the water, I was literally taking the TikTok video just to watch, and I did different things because that's how TikTok is. You can do different things with them.
Right.
And I was just taking TikTok video, and he come up out of there somewhere, and I was like, just splashed around, and then he threw up gang signs.
Do you know them?
No, I have no idea who that is.
Okay.
And then he started throwing up gang signs, and I'm like, so I moved it back away from him as quick as I could, and I was videoing them flowers, and then back at Summer again real quick. And then he decided to get in the water right there, and he went like this with the water a couple times. I told him, please stop that. She don't like to be splashed.
Okay.
And so he quit and got out. And I said, come on, Summer, we got to go get Grandma's prescription. And we just got back in the truck and left.
Okay, so a lot has been said about the.
So they just got up and left like it was just 15 or 20 minutes.
Tea thing, right? And there's Can over there and stuff. Now I asked Hunter.
When we come down
tell me
here,
the story on that.
This place was littered in trash.
Okay.
It was all trash down here. Like them teas were all over through there, all through everywhere.
Okay.
There was flowers that my mom wanted to pick from here, and I said, Mom, you better not do that. It's a state park. You get in trouble for that if you get caught.
Okay.
I'm not getting.
So, you have to understand that this is a lot that happened in 15 or 20 minutes, running out there and putting minutes on Grandis's brand new phone, doing the TikTok videos, H and Candace having a conversation, Summer going out and playing in the water, Summer allegedly having this accident enough to spook H, and what else was it? There was something else. All of this, that's a lot to happen. Also, he has to drink his twisted tea and their vapes and everything else. That's a lot in 15 or 20 minutes, don't you think?
Top of that.
Okay.
I told her that, and we just walked on back to the truck. But I don't know where that iced tea coming from. I know that I did buy an iced tea.
Okay.
From the smoke shop in town, but I bought that iced tea from my mother.
Okay. Okay.
And if she was here today, she would tell you that.
Right. Right.
And the vapes that I bought were nicotine vapes from the hippie house.
Next door.
Right, next door.
Okay.
Well,
so we know unequivocally that Candace bought H those alcohol beverage. She doesn't really even dispute it now. I want to go back for a moment because I know how Candace lies, because when she lied on Jose after she admitted that it was Jose, Andrew admitted that it was Jose, Don admitted it was Jose. Jose's kids knew, Allison said it was Jose, and then she made a video saying, no, Justin must have just paid someone to come up there. I want to take you back, and I want you to see how good off the bat she lied like that, because Candace was born on the streets. This is survival for these type of people.
trash down here. Like them teas were all over through there, all through everywhere.
Okay.
What's your
There was
question?
flowers
What
that my
Chelsea
mom wanted to
response?
pick from here, and I said, "Mom, you better not do that. It's a state park. You get in
Okay.
trouble for that if you get caught.
Okay.
I'm not getting caught for that." And I
Okay.
told her that, and we just walked on back to the truck. But I don't know where that iced tea coming from. I know that I did buy an iced tea
Okay.
from the smoke shop in town, but I bought that iced tea from my mother.
Okay.
And
Okay.
if she was here today, she would tell you that.
Right. Right.
And the vapes that I bought
Yep.
were nicotine vapes from the hippie house
Next door.
right next door.
Okay.
Well, no, they're kind of one's further down by the mall. The smoke shop's further down by the mall where I got the iced tea, and the hippie house is just right over here before you cross over the bridge.
Got it. Okay. So the smoke.
If my mom was here right now, she would even tell you that. She did it pretty good, didn't she? To now know it's unequivocally a lie. The vapes and tea were before the horse pond. Yes. Yes, it was. Interesting, isn't it? How good she just literally lies. That's how she survived.
Smoke shop where you bought the
We went to the hospital
right,
and picked up my mom,
right.
and then we stopped at the smoke shop and I got mom that twisted tea that she wanted, and then I stopped at the hippie house and got me some smoked nicotine vapes. Is what I got.
Okay. What flavor?
I think they were Skittles,
Okay.
because that's kind of like
Wait, do they have like a different
they
flavor?
actually taste like Skittles.
Okay.
It's the only kind I'll buy.
Okay.
And then we left from there and we went straight down to Walgreens and went to the drive-thru. But after we were done at the hippie house, I think we bought 3 of them. I think, I believe. And I set them right there on the console, and he asked for one. I said, "No, you can't have none."
Did he take one?
I don't know.
Okay.
Honest to God, I don't know.
Okay.
Honest to God, she doesn't know. Honest to God, she is literally swearing to the good Lord that she doesn't know. Off the bat. That's how good she lies. Unequivocally, she bought him the alcohol and the vapes. Honest to God.
But then we went to the Walgreens and dropped off mom's prescription. I said, "Well, if we got to wait 30 minutes, why don't we just bring Summer down here and let her play for a little bit?"
Okay.
And that's what we did.
Okay.
I mean, there was nothing. I honestly didn't see him drink nothing down here. I don't know what he's talking about. I really don't.
All right.
Honestly, she never saw him drink. She doesn't know what he's even talking about, y'all. Doesn't even know. Sitting there blatantly lying. No, we know she's lying. On and on and on. She doubles down and then triples down on her lie. Cotton Candy, thank you, my love, for becoming a member. I appreciate you so much. Thank you for being part of the family here. Appreciate it. You would think they would have stopped for chicken McDonald's at some point to feed the kids. Well, they stopped at Sonic. But according to Candace and everyone there, they only bought drinks. She is covering her part, and Don the Con is covering his. Boom. Let's go.
Right. So it's your word against his, basically.
Pretty much.
Okay. On this scenario right
Yes.
here.
All right. On this scenario right here. On this scenario right here. Well, who do we believe? I believe H. I believe H. he's showing that he's the most truthful out of this, of what we know now. Which leads me to believe, if I believe him when it comes to the vape and the drink. I mean, it's nothing that he wants to get in trouble for himself. So, can we believe him? The question is, when he says Summer went under the water, it's spooked him, quote, spooked him, not really scared, but spooked him enough for him to run out into the water and grab her up. Thank you so much, my insane world of beauty, Tara. Justin, I want to tell you how beautiful you look today. Your makeup is amazing. Keep up the good work. Oh, thank you so much, my love. Appreciate it. Thank you so much. I do appreciate your support. You're very kind. Thank you. They are approved swimming holes there that are clean, free of fishing lines and hooks and whatever else. Yes, muscles. And let me tell you something. If you have been here, you will know that particularly there's like a path like that goes on down the bank that you see here. And people fish like, I think every time I've been there except one time, there have been people fishing there every single time. And there is fishing hooks, there is fishing lines. Why this spot? Now, she says it's because she doesn't like to be around a lot of people. Even if there is fishing, people fishing on down, it's still very private. It makes you wonder.
Okay, so from here, where do you guys go?
Walgreens, you pick up my mom's prescription.
Okay, is that the Walgreens right down at the edge
it's right straight across.
It's the one that I showed the other day that it's right down here?
Yeah, when we turn to come down here.
At the very end of this park, when you are leaving this park, you have to go at a stoplight. And directly across the road is the Walgreens. I did a live on it when I was there before. I'm standing in the Walgreens parking lot, put the camera in front of me. Behind me is the stoplights and the road to enter the park. It's that close. Now, remember, Candace said earlier that she, H texted her, said, "Hey, what you doing?" And she's like, "Oh, nothing really. We're just sitting here in the parking lot at the ER waiting for my mom to get out." "Oh, you want to come over?" "Yeah." "Okay." Well, she says there, they thought they would go swimming or go fishing. But then they say they get to Walgreens, and since they have to wait 30 minutes, might as well go swimming. But you had already pre-planned it earlier that day, especially if you had Summer a bathing suit on at 7:30 in the morning. Something is not right. It is strange that you are fighting with H's mother, but yet you go over to the house, you pick a teenage boy up. The ages of H and Summer are way different. She has kids at home that are more age appropriate still, not as old as H, and you just take him around, and you take these very strange TikToks of him, and you take pictures of you and him laying in bed together. You take pictures of him saying some very strange lyrics while he's got his shirt off. There's also a text out there about how disgusting it is, Candace. Disgusting that you talk about something H can do with his hands. I won't even repeat it here. That is so inappropriate. As a grown woman, a mother, saying that to a teenager. That, in my opinion, is predator-like. That is predator-like. The show To Catch a Criminal or Catch a Predator, I think it's what it's called, with Chris Hansen. These perverts talk about disgusting things. They think they're meeting up with someone much younger. And as soon as they walk in that door, they arrest them. Thank you, Candy. How long before? Instantly. Instantly. The moment your circulation stops. Actually, even before your circulation stops, really. I mean, because as it slows down, it's so.
Yeah.
It's right there on the corner.
Okay. And you get mom's prescription.
Yep.
Then what happens?
Then I told mom, I said, why don't we get a Sonic?
Okay.
Because it's hot out.
Right.
So we drove in there, got a Sonic.
Right across the street.
Yep, right across the street.
Okay.
And then we left from there, and I went up Moreland Drive because I had to pick up a few things. I was in the store for maybe 5 minutes.
Okay.
Grabbed some milk and some cheese, and I don't remember what else I bought.
Okay. And that's the foodless?
No,
or
priceless.
Priceless. Okay.
Yes.
All right.
And then I was like, Hunter, you're not coming to the house. I'm sorry to tell you, but you're going back to your house.
Okay.
So there's a major discrepancy right here. Candace says she was in the store 5-10 minutes. H says she was in the store an hour. That's a major discrepancy. It's also weird to me why H and Summer would sit in the car and in the middle of June, no air conditioning, in the back of a truck. Why not just take them inside? And if Grandis was with you throughout this day, y'all have been gone since 7:30 in the morning. And she supposedly feels bad enough to go to the ER. Is she going to want to, go to the grocery store after, being sitting in the ER, allegedly going to the pharmacy, walking down the watering hole, Sonic, vape stores, buying out, all of this? It seems unnatural in the way that things normally move.
And I took him back to his house and dropped him off and left. And Summer was still awake when I left his house.
Okay. Okay.
And Allie did never walk to the truck and try to talk to me or
Okay.
I tried to get her.
Now, she says here, Allie says, she says now Summer was still awake. Nobody asked her that, first of all. But I will say, I think the reason she may have said she was still awake was because she's following up on disputing what Allie was saying. But regardless, to me, it's weird that she said Summer was still awake. She was still awake here. Okay. To me, that makes it feel like something happened. She was still awake there. Allie was lying. She came out and admitted that. And, she could have just said, Allie said she came out and said Summer, she saw Summer and she was lying. And she's like, no, Summer was still awake there.
To come over and talk to me, but she wouldn't.
Okay. Where does from here, when you left here, okay, and you went to Sonic, like you mentioned, what flavors do you buy? Do you remember?
I think I got me and Mom a grape.
Is that your favorite?
Not my mom.
Is that your favorite?
That's my favorite. I don't remember what Mom got. She got it's like a cool water or something like that.
Okay.
I don't think Summer ever got a drink that day. I don't think she ever got a drink that day. Not at Sonic, at least. You don't see any blue on her, around her mouth, or anything. You don't see it on her shirt. I think she may have, I don't know. I just don't think she got a drink that day at Sonic. Because the way she says it as well.
Is that your favorite?
Not my mom.
Is that okay?
And Allie did never walk to the truck and try to talk to me or
okay.
I tried to get her to come over and talk to me, but she wouldn't.
Okay. Where does from here, when you left here, okay, and you went to Sonic, like you mentioned, what flavors do you buy? Do you remember?
I think I got me and Mom a grape.
Is that your favorite?
Not my mom.
Is that your favorite?
That's my favorite. I don't remember what Mom got. She got it's like a cool water or something like that.
Okay.
And then Hunter, I think, wanted the blue one, I think.
Okay, is that the slushy?
Yeah.
Okay.
The slushies. I don't really.
Did you buy food?
Nope.
Just a.
I think her and Hunter got grape, and I think Grandis got the blue one. And she says, me and Mom got grape. Oh, wait, no. It was me and Summer. And then Mom got the blue one. And then Hunter got the blue one too. I don't think she ever got the drink.
Slushy.
Just the slushies.
My opinion.
Then what
I
happened?
could be completely
And then we
wrong.
left from there, went to Priceless, and I wasn't even in there 5 minutes. Grabbed my milk, come right back out the door, and he was sitting there playing on TikTok like he always does.
Okay.
Here we go. Went to Priceless, was there 5-10 minutes. They were playing, he's playing on his TikTok, doing what he always does. Well, you didn't just get milk because you had to separate groceries. These things matter. They matter. You didn't get just milk. If you had enough to where the boys and everyone had to help carry them in and sort them and carry them over to Grandis's, that's not just milk.
Okay.
I mean, and then for him to sit there and say that he doesn't even make TikToks, I have on my phone personally, I can show you where he's made TikToks.
Okay.
Honest to God.
I hope you've given it to the officials, right?
No, actually, it's still on my phone. I haven't had a chance because I was going to talk to them Tuesday when I went back to town.
Okay.
I got some business I got to take care of.
Got it. Roger that.
She says he doesn't even make TikToks, or for him it says he doesn't make TikToks. I can show you where he make TikToks. I think he doesn't really didn't, or at least at that time, make TikToks, except maybe with Candace from her phone. But I think H was talking about him personally. Does he do that? Now, and then she says, no, because I've got him on my phone. My phone, she says. So again, I think Hunter, in my opinion, is telling the truth. He actually doesn't make TikToks for himself, so to speak. I think he might with his girlfriend. He might, well, I know he does with Candace because we've seen it. And then she says, my phone. But then let's look at how concerned she is about turning in a phone. Not very.
Honest to God.
I hope you've given it to the officials, right?
No, actually, it's still on my phone. I haven't had a chance because I was going to talk to them Tuesday when I went back to town.
Okay.
I got some business I got to take care of.
Got it. Right.
So, Tuesday, whenever she leisurely can go to town, she's got some business in town, to take care of. She'll get that phone to him. It's not like it's an emergency or anything. It's not like, her daughter's missing. And it has been missing for weeks at this point. These people have more phones and iPads, and particularly burner phones, than I have ever seen. So we know that they had their phones, they're June 15th. Grandis is literally firing up a new one on June 15th, putting minutes or something on her new phone. H said she got a new phone. She was putting minutes on it. And then when they took their phones and they processed them and they gave them right back, they didn't want them anymore. Because that day or the next, I can't remember, they were getting new phones from AT&T. You could have used the phones. There was nothing wrong with them, Candace. There was nothing wrong with those phones. Or you think somebody was going to listen on them or something? I mean, why get new phones when you had perfectly good phones that they were just pulling data off? It's odd, don't you think? I wouldn't have got a new phone. Phones are expensive.
Roger that. So from there, you go back to Hunter's house.
I drop him off.
Explain the milk. The picture of
the milk. It was sitting right there beside Summer.
Okay.
Because when I handed it to Hunter in the car, he was on the outside.
Oh.
I said, Hunter, put this on the other side of Summer and just set it over there.
Okay.
And she was wide awake sitting up.
Okay.
Like, she didn't go to sleep until after we left town.
Did she change clothes?
Yeah, I changed the clothes because when I have the windows down, it could be 100 degrees. I'll have all the windows up. Roll up the window, Mommy, I'm cold. And she not be cold, but I still do it.
Is that part of Summer's
That's
personality?
just Summer.
Tell me about Summer.
So she says in the beginning when she's walking down, it's really hot. That's why she put her bathing suit on her at 7:30 in the morning. It's a hot day, and now she's saying she's always stays cold, but she just says it she just says it, but she doesn't like air conditioning either. It doesn't make sense. It does not make sense. And I don't think any human being, whether you're cold-blooded or not, I don't think you could sit in the back of a truck, even if the windows are down. If, the windows are up here, right, and they're down. Back here, the windows, they don't go down, right? They don't go down in the back. They're just up there. You can't really feel the breeze or anything. And she's sitting in the back of a car with H. Candace says 5 to 10 minutes. H says an hour. And be cold. That has to be brutally hot. Yeah, in a tracksuit.
Tell you about.
I want to know about Summer.
She's a happy little girl.
Okay.
She's the best little girl anybody could imagine. Just like, well, I don't really want to say her name.
Yeah, don't say her name.
But, happy-go-lucky. Nothing ever brings her down hardly.
Mm-hmm. Today's a tough day for you, I can tell.
Yeah, it's really tough. It's been tough lately.
Tell me about that.
Well, every time I look around, I see her face.
Okay.
I don't know what else I can tell you.
Well, help me understand when you went home. Tell me about those dynamics that day. Take me back to that day. Yeah, on the way home.
Hold on, I want to mention something right here. I usually don't give trolls much of my time, but this one I will. Why do you keep on and on about the same things? If I'm 70 years old and Summer still isn't found, you're going to see me here talking about it. Because everyone has given up on this child. Everyone. But the Summer Wells community will not give up. And you don't have to be here. No one's asking you to be here. You're welcome to be here. And you're welcome to join in the conversation. Productively, at least. Even if your opinion is disagreeing with mine. But we're not going to stop. Not going to stop. Because even 2 years later, you think of something new. You hear it again. So there is nobody that wants this to end more than a lot of us creators. I can tell you that. I am so ready for this to be over. But Summer has a mother that has 7 kids, just 6 other siblings. And she gave up on every single one of them. Don has older kids and says his oldest daughter was AR'd repeatedly. She didn't go whining. She didn't go crying. She took it like a champ. They failed. They failed their children. They failed themselves. We're not. Not going to happen. So, I forgot the person's name that I highlighted. So that's why we keep talking about it. So just wanted you to know. I rarely ever even, but that's why.
On the way home, well, we were just sitting there talking, me and Mom, about everything pretty much. Trees, flowers, rocks, whatever Mom likes, pretty much we talk about. And I was like, what's Summer doing? She's like, oh, she fell asleep. I was like, oh, how's she sleeping? And when I look back, because I'm driving, and I look back like this, she had her arms up like this, like her daddy sleeps all the time.
Okay.
So I wanted to catch that moment.
Okay.
It's just things I do.
Right.
And I was like, here, Mom, hurry up, take that picture. And then she accidentally hit the video record.
Okay.
Instead of the picture part.
Okay.
So I was like, did you catch it? She's like, no, I accidentally hit the video part.
That's what you get for Hannah.
She accidentally hit the video record.
Okay.
Instead of the picture part.
I want to rewind it.
So I was like, did you catch it? She's like, things I do.
Right.
And I was like, here, Mom, hurry up, take that picture.
I want to see how we got here.
And I look back like this.
Hold on.
Rock, whatever Mom likes, pretty much we talk about. And I was like, what's Summer doing? She's like, oh, she fell asleep. I was like, oh.
Understand when you went home, tell me about those dynamics that day. Take me back to that day. Yeah, on the way home.
On the way home, well, we were just sitting there talking, me and Mom, about everything pretty much. Trees, flowers, rocks, whatever Mom likes, pretty much we talk about. And I was like, what's Summer doing? She's like, oh, she fell asleep. I was like, oh, how's she sleeping? And when I look back, because I'm driving, and I look back like this, she had her arms up like this, like her daddy sleeps all the time.
Okay.
So I wanted to catch that.
So I think this, that's right. We're not going to give up on Monkey Michael Vaughn either until he is brought home to his family. Period. 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 There's nothing more. None of us want to sit here and talk about a child being missing over and over and over and over again. These are human beings. They deserve to be with their families. They shouldn't have been taken in the first place. It's just as simple as that. It's interesting. Candace is talking about this photo/video here. To me, this photo seems staged. The video seems very, my opinion, you can think how you want, but it seems like, oh, what is Summer doing? Does she still got her arm up? No. Oh, okay. I was trying to get a picture with her arm up. To me, it seems like an alibi. Just my opinion, though. Amen. One second. What was that comment? Who just asked, how is she sleeping? What? Yeah. So, you think about it. You can trust me, those of us that have kids or don't have kids, you see, you can see back through the mirror, right? Your rear view mirror. Is that the rear view mirror, the one in the middle? Yeah, it's a rear view mirror. And does she still have her arm up? Well, how did you know she had her arm up in the first place? You looked in the rear view mirror. Wouldn't you just look in the rear view mirror to say if she, does she still have her arm up? Just look in the mirror. To me, it seems staged. Just my opinion. Right? I mean, We all look back in our rearview mirror to see what the person in the back seat is doing, what our children are doing, whether we're, talking to someone. You're constantly looking in your rearview mirror to, change lanes or, look behind you or whatever. Does she still got her arm up? Look in the mirror.
That moment.
Okay.
It was just things I do.
Right.
And I was like, here, Mom, hurry up, take that picture. And then she accidentally hit the video record.
Okay.
Instead of the picture part.
Okay.
So like, did you catch it? She like, no, I accidentally hit the video part.
That's what you get for handing Grandma the camera.
Yeah. Well, I was driving though.
Okay.
And I was like, did you put her arm back down? She's like, yeah. I was like, dang. And then she got a picture of her, but by that time her arm was down. But her arm was up most of the time like this.
Right.
And we were like 2 minutes from the house when she took her arm down.
Okay.
And then when we got to the house, we unlocked the gate, went up, and I woke her up. She got up, I unbuckled her, she got out of the car. We went and grabbed the boys from the house and
Yep.
come help us with the groceries.
Yep.
Because I always have them come help me do something.
And now, who was home when you got home?
My 3 sons.
Okay. And how old's your oldest?
He'll be 13 in September.
Okay. So was he babysitting?
Well, technically they weren't really, they were watching TV and sleeping at the same time.
Okay.
And I was just going to run out for a second, and we never even planned, I didn't even plan for Hunter to even be with us that day at all.
Got it.
That's a big statement right there in my opinion. We was just planning to rent out for a second. I was not planning for Hunter to be with us at all. Okay. Well, first of all, I don't know what emergency room a second happens with. I know any emergency room I've ever been to, it's hours. If you're lucky, right? And since she was just there for a second, she went ahead, I guess, at 7:30 in the morning, and don't forget that bathing suit that she says she put on Summer at 7:30 in the morning. Okay. Then she goes to, let me find it. And then she goes 8 o'clock. They are at, let me make this bigger so you can see. 8 o'clock, they're at the emergency room. Maybe 8:30, right? Between 8 to 10, right? 8 to 10, we'll say 10 o'clock, she was at Hunter's house. Well, she wasn't even planning. She just said it. She wasn't even planning for H to be with them. What are you doing? Sitting here in the parking lot with Summer, waiting for my mom to get out. So you went over. That watering hole had to be planned. It had to be. Think about it. She had the bathing suit on. H and her get together, right? So, and she says there at their house, at H's house, they plan to go fishing or swimming, right? But here she says, I had no plans on H coming with me. Well, if you had no plans on being out for a long period of time, you wouldn't plan a swimming or a hunting excursion. Whether it was 15 minutes, 30 minutes, which nobody does that in the first place. Nobody swims or fishes for 15 to 30 minutes. But you say once you get to the Walgreens, because it's going to take 30 minutes, that is when you decided to go fishing or swimming. So, why was Hunter with you then? If he left with you without planning that fish or swimming trip, he would have just went back to you with Grandis to pick her up at the hospital. And then maybe you would have went to the pharmacy. You had to have planned that trip either the morning of June 15th, in my opinion, or the night before, or you had to have planned it at the very minimum when you went over to Hunter's or sometimes that morning. But I think it had to be prior to that. I think it had to be June 15th of the morning or the night before, because you intentionally put a bathing suit on Summer at 7:30 in the morning. That's the only way it makes sense. H told his mom that y'all were going fishing or swimming. But you said you wasn't going to be that long. You had no intention of being with Hunter that day. Hmm. And this is the problem. This is the problem. Why are you lying about it? Why are you lying about it? It should be a very simple explanation. Yeah, I told Hunter, you know what? I might take mom. Her knee's been hurting her. I might, I might take her to the ER in the morning while I'm waiting. You want to get together? Still weird, but you act like there was no intention of swimming that day, fishing that day, but yet you dressed her Summer in a bathing suit at 7:30 in the morning. And then Hunter texts you. And it just so happens you hadn't seen Hunter for a minute because you and Allie had been fighting. Right? In my opinion, those text messages probably said, "Are you in town yet? Where are you at? What are you doing?" There was more to that. Now, I also know that you and Hunter Skype or video, Facebook video a lot. And I know you did a lot after Summer was missing as well. I know that. I wonder if you had Skyped him, FaceTime videoed him the night before, and y'all had planned it. But that trip was planned that day. Hold on one second.
And was like, "I want to come over for a second." I was like, "Yeah, I'll come over for a second, but I got to get right back to mom." And that was all it was a quick second thing.
Got it.
Yeah, I'll come over a second. But I got to get right back to mom. She's lying through her teeth right there. Lying. I got to get back to mom. It's just a quick second thing. All right. So you wanted to. Why did you bring him then? Why'd you bring him with you? He's a teenager. You weren't there to do anything. It wasn't a fun trip planned. Unless it was a fun trip planned. Unless you needed something from him.
And he's like, "Mom, can I go with them?" I'm like sitting there shaking my head like this, and I was like, "I don't care." So I'm just like, "Okay, whatever."
Okay.
You know, I didn't even think nothing of it. You know what I'm saying? I always take them kids. Every time they call me and ask me, "Come get me," I always come get them because their mom don't do nothing with them.
Okay.
She just sits there.
That seems to be the difference between you and Allie. You guys have a difference in terms of what you say you do and what she says she does, right? There's always that. It seems to be a conflict.
Conflict somewhere.
Yeah. So, yeah, go ahead. Finish your
But
thought.
I'm always taking the kids like it was, I want to say like 3-4 months ago. I went over to Allie's and I asked Allie if she wanted her and the kids wanted to go up to, I want to call it Ducktown because that's where we planned on going, was Ducktown. And she's like, "No, I'm going to sleep," blah, blah, blah. I was like, "All right." And I was like, "Well, can I go?" And Allie's like, "Yeah, go ahead." So we took him up to Ducktown with us and stuff and brought him back, and everything was fine. I thought we were good friends, but I guess she's trying to get back at me.
She said, "Well, I took him because his mom doesn't do nothing with him," which is probably true. Allie was, allegedly sleeping on the toilet when she showed up. So there's that. But you weren't there to do anything, according to you, Candace. Were you? She kind of just tells on herself there, in my opinion. You weren't there to do anything that day. Remember? You were there just for your mom. Remember? But you planned it. You planned it. Because you said they don't do anything with him. I mean, taking Hunter to the ER and sitting in a parking lot is not doing anything with him. Taking Hunter to the pharmacy drive-through is not doing anything with him. Taking Hunter to the watering hole, the lake, that's doing something with him. You planned it. How did she know her mom was in pain at 7:30 a.m.? Good question, JD. Good question. The only thing I can think of is if Grandis unless Grandis had an appointment, or Grandis called in the middle of the night and said, listen, in the morning, we need to go, leave as early as possible, and go. But something is not right. It is all in the words. Hi, Ronnie. How are you? ERs are not, that is exactly right. It's a small hospital. I've been there. Looked around. It's a very small hospital. So, yeah. Hi, Sky Maiden. If there was an accident causing Summer Wells unaliving, then why not dial 911 and asking for help? Not something purposely happened. I'm going to possibly disagree with you on that. I don't know whether I'm not convinced personally that the entire day was pre-planned. It very well could have been, but I'm not ready to put all my eggs in that basket. I do think that H and Candace had something pre-planned. Absolutely. I think that was pre-planned. I think it's very convenient that Candace went to this particular Walgreens on the other side of town. The other side of town. She could have went to the pharmacy in the hospital. She could have went to a closer Walgreens location and 70,000 other pharmacies in town, right? She happens to go to the pharmacy right across from the lake, the park. That pharmacy. That is pre-planned, in my opinion. Now, why didn't she call? Well, let's say there was an accident happen there. Dawn says the incident. Why wouldn't she call? If something happened. Well, there could be a number of scenarios, and then some that I know I'm not even thinking of. She could have not been paying attention. The child didn't have a life vest, no floaties, and an accident could have ensued while she has a drunk teenager with her, an intoxicated, not drunk. I don't know if he's drunk or not, but an intoxicated teenager that's not hers with her. Also, in my opinion, Dawn could have showed up. Now, remember, he calls. They say whenever they're in the Walgreens drive-through. What are you doing? Where are you at? Dawn, in my opinion, lies. This is at 11:30 in the morning and says, oh, well, since y'all were there, I might as well go ahead and stay late. Well, it's not even lunchtime yet. This is your words, Don. It's not even lunchtime yet. What do you mean stay late? Staying late is 2 o'clock, 3 o'clock, calling and saying, oh, well, since y'all were at the watering hole at 2 or 3 o'clock, and you said, this is what you said, since nobody's home, your words, since nobody's home, I don't want to go home and be alone. That's your words. I don't want to go home and be alone. I'll just go ahead and work late. Well, your kids are supposed to be home, remember? Now, David Dotson, the flute player, he says that the boys were there that day. And Candace showed them pictures and he said Hunter wasn't there that day. Now, I think there's some confusion there. I think Candace lied. But I wonder if Don showed up. Okay, so yeah. So, could Don have showed up and seen something and been very unhappy? And then him and Candace and all of them got in a drag out, and Summer's there swimming and something happened. It's possible. Now, I believe no matter, almost in most circumstances, I think that there had to have been some type of transfer that day at some point. Don says he slips again, and I played him the other day in my live, and he says, and I pulled up into the shed. And then he says, I was home. And then he goes, I wasn't home. He catches himself there. Now, the authorities know a hell of a lot more than I do, and any of us civilians know. That is without a doubt. Could Grandis have taken her vehicle that morning? Yes, it's possible. The horse pond or the horse stable people say that one of a vehicle was there longer throughout the day. Jen, do you know where he said that at? Because I only know of one interview with David Dotson. I would love to see that. I mean, I could be completely wrong and you could be completely right. But if you know where he would have said that, that would be great. Don was home, I believe, and he got Yeah, I think so too. Wonder if the horse stable had cameras. No, not that I see. Yes, JLR did. In my opinion, the video shown to David Dodson was the one we saw the day the falls from earlier. I've got the David Dodson video. Let me find it here. Let me see here. I'll find it 1 second.
And Summer wanted to go inside her house and play. So Candace.
Okay, that's not it. There was just a few that I got here.
She does limp. Okay. But as far as I haven't. Okay. Yeah. That I'm not. This is the first time that I've heard this.
Not that afternoon or evening. It was earlier in the day.
Give me a couple seconds.
So that when Don took his, he told me they gave him like.
Okay, that's the lie detector one. Guys, do me a favor if you haven't hit the thumbs up button yet.
Just in there, quiz.
About what happened to Grandma or where she was at the time. I know Candace was showing the officers and myself videos of the boys and Summer swimming. I know they had gone swimming earlier that day. But as far as the grandmother, that I do not.
Okay, here it is. If you haven't hit the thumbs up yet, please hit that thumbs up button. I would greatly, greatly appreciate it. If you haven't became a member and want to become one, that is also appreciated. All right.
I'm just trying to look for some questions. Just in there, quiz. Do you happen to know, or when you got to the house on the 15th?
Can y'all hear that? Let me know if y'all could hear that. Thank you for hitting it on the way in, Kim. No? Yes? Oh, you can't hear that? Okay, sorry.
Okay. Or any of his family?
Here, let me do it like this. Let's see if you can hear it like this.
Met the boys outside of church? Have you ever met the kids outside of church? Have you guys ever gone and done anything together?
No, man.
Okay. Somebody they were asking that one. Let me see. A lot of people would like to help send them stuff. Have you ever met the young boy that went swimming with them that day? We try not to say his name because he's young.
I know who you're talking about. No, I have never met him.
Okay. Or any of his family members?
No, man.
Okay.
Candace was talking to him on she was FaceTiming with him one day when I was over there, and I saw Candace said, "Hey, this is our friend David." And
So Candace was talking to H one day when he was over there after Summer went missing, right? She wasn't supposed to be.
And then she goes, "Hey, David, this is," and I'm not going to say his name.
Yeah.
This is so and so, but that's the only time that I'd ever met him.
Okay. About how long? You know how long ago that was? Because I know that Candace had said that the families have a very strained relationship.
It was probably they don't hold me to that. It was probably within the first week that Summer went missing.
Okay. Let me see. I'm gonna just
Someone wants to know if they can send them forward.
Community search parties. Yeah.
Yes,
Yes.
ma'am.
And I believe TBI's number is just 1-800 TBI fine.
I believe you are correct on that, ma'am.
Yes.
Natalie would like to know, do you happen to know if the boys actually saw Summer inside the house that day?
From what I was told by the parents from Candace is that they saw Summer walk in. But the boys have not told me that directly. But Candace told me that the boys said that they saw Summer walk in.
So the boys never told. The boys never told David Dotson that they saw Summer. Now, Don and Candace did. The kids didn't.
Me for some reason. I don't know.
Those are reasons that
They're beyond me.
Yeah.
It blows my mind.
and you know what, that's not for me, right? That's let the authorities figure that out. You know what I mean? You know what I
That's
mean?
why I didn't really want to do an interview, because I'm not trying to fight this,
Right.
or say something that I say. I'm not into all that game.
I'm here to help find your daughter.
I want to find Summer. I don't even
Okay.
care about anybody else's bullcrap. I want to find my daughter.
I do too. Okay.
That's all this matters to me.
I totally agree. I totally agree that I'm on that same page with you. All these people, I'm sure, are on the exact same page as well. I think you know that, right?
Yeah.
So walk me through when you got home.
Okay.
You unload the grocery. What exactly is going down there?
Well, I bring my kids out, and we all unload the groceries, but we all go in my house first because we sort out my mom's groceries from her groceries.
Okay.
We always do.
Yeah.
And we did.
Now, remember, Candace just said 5 minutes ago that she just got milk. She was in there 5 minutes, but they were sorting out the groceries. So, in my opinion, Hunter's, again, the teenager, seems to be telling the truth. We know Candace lied about, and if you've been here for the entire live, you know that she lied about the alcohol, the vapes, and she said if my mom was here, she would tell you, God's honest truth, all of that. We know H told the truth on that. There's a discrepancy again on how long they stayed at the grocery store. Candace says 5 minutes. He says and about an hour, 5-10 minutes. So if that, it seems like they stayed longer because if there was enough to sort out the groceries. So far I'm believing the teenager over the adult.
Did that, and Mom walked back across, and me and Summer were putting groceries away and watching TV off and on, and just chilling with the boys, hanging out, and then we decided to do some laundry. Because laundry, my kids, they got 80 pairs of pants, 80 pairs, each one of them.
Okay.
So, doing laundry at my house is like
A job, right?
It's a job.
Right. Do you have a bulldozer?
No. Sometimes I wish I did.
Okay.
That's just stupid.
Got it. That's okay.
But
You're doing laundry.
doing laundry and stuff, and kids are all sitting there watching TV, chilling. And I stepped down, and I noticed Mom was sitting on the step, and her step is like literally from here to that tree.
So again, she says she gets home after that and she's doing laundry. And they're planting flowers, and the flowers, it takes about 40 to 50 minutes to plant a dang succulent, which is weird at best. And all of this is happening But yet, remember, the TBI says Summer went missing early afternoon. Early afternoon is considered, 12 to 3 or 1 to 3. I can't remember. Why did it take her 4 hours to call? I don't believe a word, a single word, in my opinion, of Candace's when it comes to them being at the house. Not a word. Nothing. If TBI says she went missing in early afternoon, and if you believe the woman who worked with Ronnie Lawson for 27 years, I think it is, said, why did it take her 4 hours to call? I know Ronnie was not say, yeah, I said that. But it does coincide with what TBI is saying. She went missing early afternoon, which would be, 4 hours before you called 911 and saying your daughter is missing. So there's that.
At my doorstep.
Okay.
I can literally walk over and be right there.
Okay.
And she's like looking around. I was like, what's your problem? She's like, we got to get these plants transplanted into bigger pots.
Okay.
And she.
Now you're sitting on the front porch, or where you all?
No, I'm
where
not
you-
sitting. I'm
Are you in
standing.
the house?
No. She's sitting on our camper step right there.
Okay.
And the flowers are here on both sides.
Okay.
And I'm just standing there. We're just talking. And she's like, we got to get these transplanted. I was like, all right, well. She goes, well, we know the boys ain't going to help because they don't like to do flowers.
Yeah, well, boy does, right?
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
I was like, but I know someone that will. So I ran back in the house and I grabbed Summer. She was sitting in the kitchen playing with her little, what are them? Little short guys with the big eyeballs.
Okay.
And I was like, Summer, you want to plant flowers? Me and Grandma plant
Is that the
rocks.
LOL things? Are they?
No, they're not.
Like
She didn't
they-
really like LOLs.
Okay.
She didn't care for those. No, I don't know what they're called. They're all kinds of different characters, like
Okay.
different animals, but they got big eyes.
Okay.
She liked them, so I bought them for her. And she was sitting there, I was like, Summer, you want to do some flower planting and stuff? She jumped up faster than anybody I've seen jump up. She's like, pretty flowers? I'm like, yeah, let's go over to Grandma's and plant flowers. Transplant is what we did. And so we did that, and I don't know, it took us a while. Probably 30, 40 minutes, 50 minutes, I don't know. We're not real fast people. We don't.
Okay. Your Tennessee time.
Yeah,
Just
pretty
sitting
much.
on a porch,
Chilling.
drinking some sweet tea and just.
I don't drink tea. But
Okay, but chatting her around.
yeah, just chatting pretty much. Me and Mom drink Mountain Dew.
Okay.
That's what we do. We drink Mountain Dew.
Yeah.
Missy demeanor. It used to be misdemeanor. If so, that's how I used to remember it. Now it's Missy demeanor. 7 kids neglect abuse. Statistically, one was sadly statistically going to meet with some tragedy. I hope that is what happened here. 2 patterns. Yeah. Yeah. This is what happens when you have a lifestyle that of the way that they had, the way that they behave, their addictions and infidelity and everything else that they had going on, and priority was not kids. There are people, I think there's like 3 different types of people. There are people who intentionally have kids and make them their priority. There's people who unintentionally have kids and make kids their priority. There's people that have kids and the kids are not their priority, and they continue with the same lifestyle, dragging the kids along with them in their toxicity and their addiction from the moment they are born until they're either removed, taken from the home, or hopefully the parents will, clean up, which is, can happen, or they make it till they're 18. And that is, in my opinion, very much is the latter of what Don and Candace are. They have had, you have to be a real special breed of person to have multiple kids, different ages, different states, different times, different places, different situations, and every single one by different CPS, DHS workers have taken them all away. You just have to remember that. There are complete flaws within the system. I agree with that. And the system can and does fail some children. In my opinion, the system failed Summer. But in my opinion, the system also saved 6 out of 7 of her children. So there's that.
And Summer, we got done. We washed our hands real quick, went in Grandma's house, and she asked Grandma for a piece of candy. She always does.
Okay.
And of course, Grandma gives it to her.
Sure.
And she wanted a piece of candy, so Grandma gave it to her. And we're sitting there for about, 5-10 minutes maybe at the most. And she was, Mom, I want to go back to the house with my brothers. I was like, all right. So I got up and I walked her back across to where I could literally see her walking to my door.
You see how she could estimate a time right there? We stood there maybe 5 or 10 minutes. 5 or 10 minutes, right? But when it doesn't suit her, she says she's not good with time, and she won't even estimate. She won't even estimate because, that might fill in some answers, right? That might really fill in some type of answer. I mean, we're not always looking at a clock, but being on the planet for ever how long, we've been on the planet for, we can kind of get an idea, a rough idea at the very minimum of how long we was at a place, but she won't even estimate on certain things. Because in my opinion, it's not very beneficial for her to do that. That might start, making sense for people. But here she said, we stood there maybe 5-10 minutes. We was at, we did this for, just an opinion.
Step.
Okay.
And she
front door, back door.
No, I don't know if you want to call it the front door, back door, because I don't really consist which way.
Which door is it? Yeah, in some of the pictures I see, there's a door around the bottom and the back.
Not the basement door. I call it the kitchen door. Is what I call it.
Okay.
And she walked in there, and there's a scaffolding that we have for steps, the yellow and black scaffolding we have for steps. And I put my hand on the scaffolding. I said, boys, watch something. I'll be right back. And I had to go over and help Mom. She was still sitting over there. And I had to go and get her knee brace and fix it for her because it was twisted and crap.
Okay.
It took me like 5 minutes, maybe 2 minutes. I don't know.
Okay.
I'm not a time person. Never have been.
Okay.
And next thing I know, I said, Mom, I'm going back over with the kids, chill and hang out, whatever. And I freaking asked her brothers, well, where'd your sister go? She was just right here with you. But she wanted to go play with her toys downstairs, Mom. I said, I think none of them. That's where our room is. That's where her toys are.
Okay.
And after about...
Her brothers are upstairs. She had toys upstairs that she was playing with. Anyway, her brothers are upstairs. I don't see her going down in the dungeon by herself. No windows down there. Dark. I don't see it. Nobody in, nobody out that day. Don says the door is locked. When he leaves, it normally stays locked. So while she's fixing this knee brace, literally on the same side of the house, caddy corner, where the door is, the only door to the downstairs. She's sitting in the doorway, allegedly fixing her mom's knee brace. Someone, according to Candace, had to grab Summer and take her. In the middle of nowhere, up on a hill, a stranger would not know. A complete stranger would not do that. 1,000% in my opinion. A complete stranger would never go up there. They don't know what's up there. Someone who gets a kid, like an abductor, they don't leave their car very far because either way they have to make a run for it, whether things go wrong for the abductor or they go, they abduct the kid. They have to leave quick. You can't see in the door. There are no windows in the basement. So what you got there?
A second. I didn't hear nothing down there. I was like, you sure she went downstairs? They're like, yeah, Mom, she went downstairs.
Okay.
And my boys do not lie to me.
So she says, I don't hear Summer. Are you sure she went downstairs? That seems like set up. It seems rehearsed. Are you sure she went downstairs? I don't hear Summer. And my boys do not lie to me. She's really emphasizing that. Okay. I believe you lie, Candace. I know you do. Are you sure she went downstairs? Well, Candace, you're sitting in the doorway and literally the front door is open. You know that she didn't go out the front door. The front door is wide open. And if she went to her swing, it would have been literally right in. Grandis is sitting there at the doorway. She would have seen her. like literally in front. And if she went out the back door, someone took her. I mean, you're going to hear someone, with a kid scared to death, trying to get loose, fighting, screaming, running down a hill, leaves, branches, everything. You can hear a car. You can hear the whales talking at the top of the hill.
Went around because my stairs, my husband calls it a bar, but it's not really a bar. I call it a mess. We built it over the staircase. I guess you could call it a bar, but it's not really a bar because we don't drink that much. So, but it was like where we put our TV stand, stuff like that. And I walked around because that's where the steps are hidden up underneath there. And I said, Summer. And she didn't answer me. I said, Summer, are you down there? And she didn't answer me. So I ran down the stairs pretty much. I was freaking out. I was like, why is she not answering me? And I looked, I just went, I blew up. I went everywhere looking for her. So I couldn't find her nowhere.
Okay. Then what happened?
She was just gone.
Okay.
She was just gone into nowhere. And I started tracing the property, going everywhere I could. I sent my boys down through we live on the hill, so it was down by the creek. I sent them all down through there looking and everything. They still didn't find.
Statistically, thank you so much, Penelope. Thank you so much. I appreciate that, my love. Very kind of you. Thank you so much for that. Thank you again. She was just gone. Statistically, it's more likely that a child would just, walk off into the woods. They searched. They said if she was around there, they would have found her. Candace agrees to that. They immediately said she was abducted. Statistically, that is extremely rare. It is extraordinarily, would be astronomically rare for their location. From the moment, literally, from Grandis's interview, they think she's abducted. They even sent the boys over the hill, Grandis's words, and says that they were praying to God that nobody would take them either. So they thought that someone could potentially have abducted Summer, and they are willing to let the other children go over the hill and potentially sacrifice them too. Because as adults, we're supposed to protect children and anything that can't fend for themselves. Statistically, statistically, an accident of some sort is way more likely to happen. I think it's 4,000 to 6,000 people in the United States every year die. That's a lot of people. I'm not saying that's what happened, particularly 4 and under. is like the number one. Statistically, there are way more things more likely to happen than just someone, particularly a stranger, abduction. Which to me, a stranger abduction is everything but zero, in my opinion. The card team says there is zero sign of it. Special agents from the FBI. They're regional. They come quick, and they have a very high success rate of solving a case. 95%. Summer is in that 5% of not knowing. How are they not in jail for at least neglect and abuse? It's not over. Remember how Hawkins County, TBI, says CPS and the investigation parallel coincide with each other. Now, Cam and Allie, they are facing, they've been charged. They're in a different state, but they've been charged. They haven't been convicted. They had court today. It's continued. Why are the Wells not charged with something? It's interesting, isn't it? It's not over. It's definitely not over. How long were they at the water hole for? Well, we don't know. We don't know. Candace says, 20 to 30 minutes.
And they said no. So I ran over and I freaked out. I called Donnie because that's what I do automatically. I freak out,
You called Donnie.
I called Donnie. I said, I cannot find Summer. Come home now.
Now, I agree with that. I think you called Dawn, if Dawn wasn't there already. But if there was an accident or by some chance she was abducted by someone that we have no idea, or someone that knows you guys. But if there was an accident, and did you call Dawn?
He's like, call the cops. So I threw my phone down on the back of his pickup, ran over to my mom, picked up her phone because it's the only one that gets out there.
Threw that phone down.
Is AT&T.
Okay.
So I picked up her phone, I dialed her on. I said, I cannot find my daughter. And they sent people out, and I wasn't just going to stand there and wait for them to send people out.
Right.
I jumped in my mom's truck, and I went down the driveway as fast as I could. I went everywhere I could possibly think, every road which way. I didn't see no cars. I didn't see nobody at all. And I was like flipping out. I was a hot mess, so you call it.
Okay.
It makes no sense. The only thing that can come to my mind is that somebody snuck up there in that yard and took my baby girl.
What are the odds of that?
What are the odds of that?
From your perspective?
It happens all the time, all the way around the world.
I'm not questioning that it happens. I'm just asking you from your perspective, in your property, living up there as long as you have, Candace, right? What are the odds that happened? Take a guess.
50-50.
Okay. What would be the 50% that it didn't happen? What are the other possibilities?
I have no idea.
Okay. Could she have walked away and fallen?
Knowing my daughter?
Yeah.
No.
Okay. Okay.
No.
Okay. What's in your heart today in terms of what gives you hope and what do you hold on to? I mean, you've been around the block a couple of weekends.
Exactly, Lisa Lee, but that's the phone she was FaceTiming Dawn with. And they didn't lose service all the way there. Nope.
Okay. I mean, so have I. And I think what you're telling me here, I have no reason to disagree with you. You know what I mean? I mean, there's going to be a lot of he said, she said, and and I know, no matter what, okay, no matter what,
In my heart, I believe. Now, this is just the way I feel.
I respect that. Totally respect
I
that.
feel that somebody has got her hid out somewhere.
Okay.
And is keeping her away from us.
Help me understand why that's.
Somebody has her hid out somewhere and have her keeping away from us. Now, that could very well be true. It's interesting how CPS was there the 14th, and the next day, Summer goes missing. It is possible that Summer is with someone, in my opinion, that they would know. My opinion. It's way more likely, in my opinion, that would happen before someone would come up on the hill and take her. It has to be, in my opinion, because there's no sign of an abduction. That this is CPS related somehow, or there was some sort of accident. But I can tell you that what we have been talking about for this last bit, she is not telling the truth about that day, my opinion, based upon the things that I've mentioned and a lot of other things that we've been covering and will continue to cover. With that being said, I'm going to end it here. We'll finish this tomorrow. And then we're going to go over hunters. I don't think H has been entirely honest, but I think he's a victim and he's a child. But I do believe him 1,000 times more, in my opinion, personally, than I believe Candace. Because she has a lot more to lose. She's the adult. She's the one giving alcohol, illegal substances, and God knows what else she was doing with H. We don't know. We do know that she was giving him illegal substances. Thank you all so much for being here. I appreciate you tremendously. You could have chosen to be anywhere, but you chose to be here with me, and I'm thankful for that. I love you all in chat so much. and I appreciate it. I'll see you guys tomorrow. We'll continue this live, and we'll be covering H's live. And then we're going to be going over some more of the timeline after that. After the live with H. Love you all. We'll see you guys on the next one. Good night and God bless.